In this video, let's talk about some trade rumors that are heating up involving the Chiefs, Russell Wilson jogging in an airplane, Rich Eisen's great take about Kansas City, and then take a look at this season so far compared to last season and see how the Chiefs are faring without Tyreek Hill and much freaking more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, aka the Red Bearded King Ragnar, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs, so make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button if Patrick Mahomes is your father's father, and let's get into this video, starting with this. The Chiefs versus 49ers was the most watched telecast of the week on any network, with a total of 22,285,000 even. I don't know how they got it to even viewers. Bills fans, though, are saying it's because the Bills had a bye week, but how about the world doesn't always revolve around your team and their cute little regular season Super Bowl wins? Nice try, though. Anyway, I'm glad over 22.2 million people tuned in to last Sunday's game to watch the Chiefs win with relative ease against a team who has a top defense in the league, was very hungry to avenge their Super Bowl loss from a couple of years back, but it didn't matter. And honestly, I think defensive end Frank Clark summed things up quite nicely here in a post-game presser with the media.
You know what I mean? We playing the 49ers. We're in the area. We just lost last week. So if we had any type of nuts, we go out there and get the job done in there, and that's what happened. We beat their ass in their stadium. They talked all that shit, and you see what happened. You know, we still stepping on them. 2 years later, I think it is.
Well said, Frank. And in case any of you watching didn't already know, Frank Clark got suspended yesterday by the NFL for 2 weeks for violating the league's personal conduct policy after he pleaded no contest to those two gun charges. He will now miss Week 9 versus the Titans and Week 10 versus the Jags, and will return for Week 11 against the Chargers. Something else I learned about his suspension is that it freed up some cap space for the Chiefs. According to Matt Derrick, the Chiefs currently have $3,540,235 in available cap space per the NFLPA. Frank Clark's suspension will cost him 2 game checks, which will give the Chiefs almost $440,000 in additional space. So that'll push them to just under $4 million in available cap room. So there you go. Frank Clark is out there helping contribute to his future replacement when the Chiefs trade for Panthers defensive end Brian Burns. All right, that probably won't happen, but I'm not 100% sure Frank Clark returns next season, and you never know what could happen. And on the note of trades happening, let's park the car here for a moment because there's a few things to talk about regarding trades and loose rumors. First up, a lot of Chiefs fans have been keeping their eyes on Bears defensive end Robert Quinn. Well, he's officially off the market as of today because the Eagles traded a 4th-round pick for him, and the Bears are going to be picking up most of Quinn's remaining salary. Unbelievable. I sort of wish the Chiefs bit on this. I mean, the Bears took on most of his salary. Homie, huh? Oh well, I guess. In Veach we trust. Now, another player that's reportedly available for a 4th-round pick is Browns running back Kareem Hunt. But let's not kid ourselves, it'll probably never happen. Kareem burnt his bridge here in Kansas City and is sadly more than likely not welcome back by those in charge. Therefore, moving on. The next player to talk about is Texans wide receiver Brandin Cooks. The 5'10", 189-pound wideout ran a 4.3340 during the 2014 Combine, and for context, McCole Hardman also runs a 4.3340, and Tyreek Hill ran a 4.2940. So Cooks is fast and also has had a 1,000-plus yard season for 6 of his 8 seasons played so far. He's playing his 9th season right now, but obviously this season is to be determined if he reaches another 1,000 yards. But this will be his 4th NFL team since being drafted if he's traded for another one. He's only 29 years old as well and has some gas left in the tank, certainly. And I think the Chiefs agree, which is why, to my surprise, the Chiefs have actually been one of the teams to inquire about Cooks. Dov Kleeman reported today that the Chiefs, Packers, and Rams have contacted the Texans regarding trading for wide receiver 1 Brandin Cooks. The thing is, though, his contract is pretty freaking expensive. He has a base salary of like $18 million next season, so I doubt the Chiefs move on him because of that, but also because the Rams and Packers both need more wide receiver help than the Chiefs currently do. They are slacking a bit, and the Chiefs are putting up 40 bombs on the regular, so I think the Chiefs are doing okay there. And then the team that we love to talk about here on this channel for multiple reasons was in the news today, and that is the Denver Broncos.
That's right!
lost, and they were in the news for the best reason possible, and that is Russell Wilson once again being an absolute cornball. He felt led to let the media know what he did on his 8-hour flight to London today because they are playing the Jags this Sunday in, you guessed it, London. And it was a freaking great piece for content, to say the least.
The first 2 hours I was watching the film, and then for the next 4 hours, I was doing treatment on the plane. I was walking up and down the aisles. Everybody was knocked out. I was doing high knees and working on my legs and everything else, making sure I'm ready to rock.
So his teammates were sleeping. Yet Russell Wilson was literally jogging up and down the aisles doing high knees. This man is a jogging meme, and I love every freaking bit of it. In fact, some footage was found of him on this airplane while his teammates were sleeping, and I gotta show it to you.
Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride.
The green screen meme strikes again, but this was too good not to share with you all, and by now, I've spent more than enough time talking about this weird little man, so let's move on to a quick roster transaction that happened this week. The Titans, they signed Chiefs wide receiver Chris Conley from the practice squad. So after he rejoins the Chiefs for the first time since 2018 for a few weeks via their practice squad, the Titans now snatch him away, sign him to their roster in which he must remain for 3 games. Convenient timing, really, as he would have had a bit of time to digest the Chiefs' new offensive scheme, playbook, language, etc., and now finds himself with the team that the Chiefs are going to be playing next after their bye week. Interesting. Something else I found interesting is this. While you have pundits out there like Colin Cowherd, talked about him in a video the other day, who predicted the 49ers to win, was wrong, and then instead of just saying, hey, I was wrong, he doubled down after they lost by saying the 49ers were too distracted by the McCaffrey trade, and that's why they ultimately took the L. So while you have losers like that, you have others out there who are actually rational and of sound mind, like Rich Eisen, and he gives credit where credit is due.
A good buzz in the building can be a distraction. Okay, so they got a lot of moving parts, and now they got him here, and I don't think there was a distraction. I think the distraction was Kansas City just being that freaking good.
That's right. The Chiefs are just that freaking good, and people need to quit making up pathetic, idiotic, dumb, no good excuses when they win. Quit doing it. Anyway, Rich Eisen goes on to explain that you now have to put the rest to the idea that the Chiefs no longer are a quick-scoring deep threat with Tyreek Hill gone.
It's 3rd and 11. And it looks like the Niners are going to get off the field and get the ball right back and maybe take the lead. And what happens? Mahomes goes up top on 3rd and 11 to find a wide open Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 51 yards. And that's the moment right there. We can bury forever that Tyreek's not there anymore. And therefore, the Chiefs don't have a quick strike offense. And they are not to be feared deep anymore, and that's the end of it.
And I know what you're thinking, or at least what everybody else from other teams are thinking. MVS is no deep threat compared to Tyreek Hill, and first off, you are right, but second, he doesn't have to be.
With all due respect to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, he is not Tyreek Hill.
Okay, I'm not saying he's not Tyreek Hill. I'm saying there's more weaponry at the disposal of Mahomes now. There are more diversified offense now, and they can still beat you deep off the top.
Ding, 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 we have a winner. There's more weaponry, aka a higher floor in the wide receiver room, and they can still beat you deep off the top. Well, seeing this clip from Rich Eisen led me down a crazy rabbit trail of research because I was ever so curious about this question. How are the Chiefs doing this season after the first 7 games without Tyreek Hill, and basically with a brand new receiving core compared to the first 7 games of the 2021 season when they had Tyreek Hill, a receiving core that Mahomes already had rapport with and trusted, and honestly the results were interestingly surprising. So here we go. Last year, after 7 games, the Chiefs were 3-4 with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce with the receiving core that they were familiar with and in sync with in D-Rob and Byron Pringle, and the same O-line, same coaching staff for the most part, all that. Again, 3-4 after 7 games. They were also ranked 32nd in turnovers. Yes, they led the league with 17. To be fair, though, up to this point, in 2021, the Chiefs' defense was not playing well, like at all. Remember, they traded for Melvin Ingram. Things started to turn around, but listen to their stats up to week 7. 32nd in points allowed, 32nd in yards allowed, 32nd in yards per play allowed, 31st in receiving yards allowed, 31st in rush yards allowed, 32nd in first downs allowed. Not good. So that certainly didn't help the case either, but if you statistically compare just the offense from the first 7 games of this season to the first 7 games of last season, it is definitely interesting. So here we go. After Game 7 of 2021, Mahomes had 187 completions for 2,088 yards, 18 TDs, and 9 interceptions. And in 2022, this season, after 7 games, he has 176 completions, 2,159 yards, 20 TDs, 5 interceptions. So Mahomes has not only thrown for more yards and less attempts, but has 2 more TDs, 4 less interceptions, and the team is 5-2 going into the bye week rather than 3-4. It's also worth mentioning that the Chiefs currently lead the league in 20-yard plays in the NFL with 37, and that's 10 more than they had at this time last season. And Mahomes also leads the league in passing yards, passing TDs, and the Chiefs are first overall in average points per game. And yes, I know, Bills fans, I know, you guys had a bye week, but it's just the way stats currently sit, so just calm down, you only winning in the regular season little weirdos. Anyway, after looking at the data, I think the answer to my original question is the Chiefs are doing more than fine without Tyreek Hill. In fact, they're doing better. Now, some of you will say, but yeah, dude, they were in a slump the first 7 games, so this isn't a good argument. Well, it's not my fault that Tyreek Hill had a fumble and 2 catchable passes bounce right out of his hands for an interception and contributed to 18% of the Chiefs' 17 turnovers within the first 7 weeks. It's not my fault that Mahomes became too reliant on Tyreek, who, as we found out later, was demanding for more touches and tried to force the ball to him. It's not my fault that the Chiefs now have basically a brand new receiving core outside of Kelce and Hardman and are doing better than they previously were with one of the best receivers in the entire league and a receiving core Mahomes already knew and trusted. None of that is my fault, so don't freaking cry to me. And to further drive home my argument, Mahomes is just now, within the past couple of games, really beginning to mesh, sync, get in harmony with, all that good stuff, his new receiving core. So I surmise that Mahomes and company could do even better in the second half of the season than they did in the first, further proving the point that the Chiefs are better off without Tyreek Hill. But here on this channel, we don't just make points to piss people off, unless those people are Raiders fans. I try to be a realist as well. So to play devil's advocate, teams now have more tape on the Chiefs from the new receiving core and new things that they are trying, the back shoulder throws, different ways they are getting these guys involved. So this may potentially slow down the Chiefs and their offense in the second half, potentially. But the only way we will truly be able to know that for sure is if we revisit this conversation after the season's end. For right now, Brett Veach appears to have made the right move, getting a bunch of draft picks and freeing up cap space in exchange for the Dolphins getting Tyreek Hill. And he's looking pretty freaking good by going younger, getting longer term at the Chiefs and their future with Mahomes at the helm and plenty of years left in the league. And to be absolutely clear as crystal meth here, this segment is not a hit piece on Tyreek Hill because that man is special, a generational talent, if you will. If you actually look up his stats from the first 7 games last year to this year, they look like this. Last season, Tyreek had 54 receptions for 682 yards and 5 TDs. And after 7 games this season, has 57 receptions for 773 yards and 2 TDs. So yeah, he has 3 less touchdowns, but almost 100 more receiving yards and currently leads the league in receiving yards after having Tua turn the ball over as his quarterback. So I think it's safe to assume that both Tyreek and the Chiefs are doing just fine without each other, therefore proving that A, Mahomes is an absolutely elite quarterback that elevates the talent around him no matter the situation. B, Tyreek Hill is an athletic phenom who is worth every penny that the Dolphins paid him for. And C, we are all blessed to have been able to witness the Mahomes to Hill connection for several years and see them win a ring together, so let's all be grateful for that fact. And with all that being said, what do you guys think about all this? Are you surprised the Chiefs seem to be playing at a higher level without Tyreek? Or does it make sense to you considering Mahomes is no longer trying to force the ball to just 2 people, Travis Kelce and Tyreek, and is instead forced to go every which way with the football, making the Chiefs that much harder to defend. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below, and let's fight about it down there per usual. I also wanted to give a shout out to Hoove, Justin The Way, Just G Dispatcher, Christopher Steele, Joel Gilmore, and Larry Hoop for all the recent Super Thanks comments, as well as the Red Beard Tier Legends members: Cobra Kai Ty, Shelby Hanneman, Randy Moran, Austin Wall, and Britt Lyons. I appreciate all the support, as well as each of you watching, every like, comment, engagement, all that. I very much appreciate it. We're building an awesome community of Chiefs Kingdom here, and I could not do it without you all. So make sure to leave a super thanks or bearded comment to potentially be featured in an upcoming vid. Sub and like for more, and then check out this video here, which is from All Chiefed Up, video that dropped today featuring yours truly. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those?